Thank you for downloading this edition of the Saturday Drop-In podcast from Highland Hospital Radio. Coming up on this week's show, it's your usual features of Guess the Year. This or That is going to be called Butterfly or Flutter By. And, of course, our Beat Detective.
We also have special guest Roz White, who is part of Highland Pride. And as it's Pride Inverness this weekend, we got her to have a quick chat. Just tell us what LGBTQ plus Pride is all about.
Excellent. So enjoy the show. We'll be back for the extras after the best bit, which is the show itself.
Yeah.
Well, very good afternoon to you folks. This is your Saturday Drop-In here live from Raigmore. It's just coming up on... He's going to count to 4 minutes past 12 here, live on your Saturday afternoon. A very warm welcome to you. My name's Tom, and sitting opposite me, as always, is Shannon Marvel.
Hello.
How are you?
Great. We had a little holiday, didn't we?
We did.
Not together, but...
Well, you know, I would happily go on a wee holiday. What did we... Yeah, last week we weren't here. We're sorry about that. There was a slight scheduling clash.
Yes,
and by scheduling clash, what I mean is... it's not my fault. I went through the appropriate process.
It's not my fault.
We went through the appropriate process, and I said, I am not available on these dates. And I've got my diary filled all the way to October.
You do.
And then your lovely partner, fiancé, let's not get away from that.
Yeah.
Decides to whisk you away to, was it Dublin?
Dublin. Went to Dublin for the weekend.
And how was that?
It was amazing. We were expecting horrific weather, and it was sunshine all weekend. Like heatwave sunshine. And I was like,
Really?
I'm not prepared for this.
That's nice.
It was great though. We did the Guinness tour. We did the Irish Immigration Museum. Like we were proper cultural about it.
Proper cultural.
And we had a Supermax, which is amazing.
Sorry, what's
a Supermac?
What is a Supermac?
See it as like a Burger King,
right?
But better. But there's no seating really. It's kind of like kebab shop vibes, but it's burgers instead.
Kebab shop vibes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
So good. So good.
Do you know what I'm getting back into just now?
What?
Burgers. I know that seems crazy, right? But
the man who was veggie for the best part of 5 years.
I was veggie for a long time, and do you know what? There's some really good veggie burgers out there actually now.
Yes, that's true.
But yeah, smash burgers.
Ooh.
Yeah, that man. I don't want too much on my burger. I'm going to put it out there. I don't want lettuce on my burger. I just want burger. I want some cheese. I want some bun.
You don't want the fibre. I
don't want anything healthy. You don't eat a burger for healthy eating, do you? So you got the nice sunshine in Dublin.
Yeah. How was Tayside?
Well. So we were on holiday for a weekend in Arbroath, and I have never seen rain quite like this.
Worse than today.
Well, Tayside is their big claim is it's the driest part of Scotland. They get like the least amount of rainfall, the most amount of hours sunshine in Scotland, on the Angus coastline, and we got so much, a year's worth of rain, literally. And of course, we were in a caravan.
Oh, so the white noise would have been incredible.
The noise that you get from a caravan roof getting peltered with rain is
amazing.
Therapeutic.
Yeah.
I
would say therapeutic.
I love it. So we had the curtains up, we were watching the rain, and like the caravans opposite us, just water was pouring off of them. It was never seen rain like it. But yeah, did lots of fun stuff.
Amazing.
You know what? We had this great idea. We're going to go to Dundee and we're going to do like 3 different museums all in a day. And then we thought, do you know what? It's a holiday. Let's just chill. Let's just chill. We so needed it. Busy times at work. Busy times here at Hospital Radio.
Exactly.
So we enjoyed some time off, to be honest, and it was lovely.
Ah, good.
Time at the arcades.
Oh, of course. You can't not go to like, is it coastal?
It's a coast. Yeah, it's right on the coast.
Yeah, exactly. Coastal means you need to go to the arcade.
It's on the North Sea. I at first thought it was on the River Tay, but no, the Firth of Tay. It's out the bit. So yeah, your proper North Sea stuff here.
Yeah. I saw there was some waltzers situation going on as well.
My kids took me on the waltzers, and I've never felt so old. I know this is
in like you were sore afterwards?
I was just so dizzy. So dizzy.
That means you've done it right though.
And there was a coming of age moment for my son.
Okay.
So he's just turned 9 last week.
He has, yes.
Or the week before, sorry. And when we went on the waltzers, we really had to convince him. My daughter loves them. She's been on she's just absolutely crazy for these things. Loves going on roller coasters now. Big thrill ride person.
Yeah, of course.
So she wanted Henry to come on with her. but the deal was I would have to come on to get Henry to come on.
Mm-hmm.
And Henry wanted me to hold on to him, so like I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Because you know, with the centrifugal force, you get thrown about. So I need to sit in the middle, so I stay there.
Yeah.
Jess is on one side, Henry's on the other, and I've got my arm around Henry because he wants to cuddle in.
Aww.
And halfway around, now there was only a few other people on the waltzers, so we were getting a lot of attention from the waltzer attendant.
Oh yeah.
By the way, how cool are waltzer attendant
They
people?
like jump on the side and
mate.
it's so good.
It's when you see them, they're like doing backflips and spins, and they're
Yeah.
jumping off, then jumping back
I
on.
wonder what the interview process is like for a waltzer
there
assistant.
must be a
Can you do 3 backflips whilst this is moving at 20 miles an hour?
I'd love to know how do you get trained up on that?
I don't know.
Do you do dance classes? Is that what it is? I love it. So yeah, we and halfway along, I'm thinking I'm feeling a bit sick now because there's not that many people on, so they're really focusing on us. I've never spun so much in a waltzer. And Henry then says, "Dad, I don't need your arm anymore."
Oh, amazing.
So that was after that. They had like the wristband thing. They can just go on constantly. They just went on repeatedly on the waltzers, and it took me a good half hour to recover.
Oh, did you need like a burger to
Oh, I wish.
settle everything? Or
But here's the thing: arcades have kind of changed. When was the last time you went to an arcade?
I'd say Nairn Games last year.
Right.
They don't do 2p coins anymore.
Exactly.
What happened to the 2p coins?
Well, this one is a card, and it's the same. There's a new leisure facility opened in Inverness.
Yes.
I'm just saying, we had Henry's birthday at Roller Bowl because shop local. And yeah, it's a card now. So you load money onto a card, and then you tap the card against the machine you want to play at the arcade. So you're not putting money in anymore, and you're not getting the tickets coming out anymore.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
don't-
There needs to be something physical about.
Exactly. So you've got your big mountain of tickets, and then you feed it into that machine.
Yeah.
And then you go and pick your prizes. But this thing, it's all just on a card now.
Ah. Bring back the 2p coin. I wanna feel the copper on my hands. You know, like after when you played so much, your hands would go black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, we're going back a bit, but bear with us, guys.
More arcade chat coming up. Also on this week's show, we actually do what we're supposed to hear. Let's do it.
Of course.
So in your week, your Saturday drop-in this week, it's the normal stuff. Coming up about 12:15, we'll play Guess the Year, a couple of songs, some news and sports and TV and movie trivia, and all pointing to 1 year, which you can join in with. Then at 12:30, you've got a special interview coming up today.
We do. We have the lovely Roz White, who is a part of Highland Pride, as it is Inverness Pride today.
It is indeed.
They are going to have a chat with us before they march
Awesome.
at 1 o'clock.
Perfect
timing.
How are they going to time that, I wonder?
I don't know.
Live via the magic of cheating. Then, into the second hour, we're going to play a game of This or That. Shannon Marvel, did you know that today is National Butterfly Day?
I did not. No.
Well, good news. We're going to focus on that.
I did wonder why it's called Butterfly or Flutter By.
Indeed. Coming up for This or That this week in Butterfly or Flutter By, I've got 10 names, and you need to decide, are they a butterfly or do they flutter by?
Oh my god! Right.
So, and they are some funny butterfly names out there. So
is it a bit like chickens or dickens?
it's chickens or dickens all over again.
Yes.
Chick or dick. Or either.
Keep going. We got it.
We're good. And then, of course, the last song of the show, just before 2 o'clock, has already been picked by the super duper computer.
It has.
And what we do is we want you to guess that song via the mystery of the Beat Detective.
Amazing.
We've got some cryptic clues coming up to lead you to the last song of today's show. It's all there and more. Some music, some chat, more arcade talk.
I hope so. I'm quite excited for arcade talk now.
More arcade talk is coming up after. Oh, we've got some Oasis for the listeners. Let us know if you would like to hear a song as well, or if you want to take part in any of the quizzes, or you've just got a question or query, or just want to say hello. The email you need is studio@hhr.scot. We particularly want to hear your arcade stories.
Yes, please.
Please send them in.
When you hear the word Pride, you might think of colourful parades, flags and celebration. But behind the glitter is the music is something much deeper. A movement rooted in visibility, solidarity and the ongoing fight for equality. To help us understand what Pride is about, we spoke to Roz White from Highland Pride. She explains where Pride has come from, what it stands for and why it continues to matter today for individuals and communities alike.
Hi, my name is Roz White, and I am currently acting as Secretary for Highland Pride. I've been on the committee since, I think, 2019. But I warn you now, I have a memory like a sieve, so don't hold me to that. But I've been around Pride certainly for the last 5 years or so in Highlands.
Could you tell us a little bit about what Highland Pride is for listeners that might not know?
Yeah, Highland Pride is, as the name says, it basically does what it says on the tin. We are the Highlands equivalent of other Pride organisations scattered all across the world, really now. This year marks the 30th anniversary of Pride events and visible marches within Scotland, so it's special for that reason, but it also means that over the last 30 years, various other places have also developed Pride organisations of their own. So that's basically what we are. And Pride itself as a movement came out of the Stonewall riots in 1969 in New York, where the police raided a gay bar for no obvious reasons, and that sparked a massive riot. And so Pride is not only a celebration of LGBTQ living and culture and identities, it is also a way to protest at the continuing marginalisation of those groups. So there is a political aspect as well. Beyond that, we exist to outreach, to promote LGBT awareness. I don't think I can do it on the laptop I'm currently sat in front of, but Highland Pride does have a mission statement to expand inclusivity and awareness of LGBTQ people within the Highland region.
Yeah, and I guess there's definitely a deeper purpose for Highland Pride, as much as we have Pride Month, and it's some people see it as protests, celebrations. I think in a way as well, please correct me if I'm wrong, it's also an opportunity to learn as well. I speak to someone who does Pride every year and is part of a group called the Kiki group, and I'm asking questions all the time, and it's not because I feel like I don't know enough. It's just the opportunity to learn something new or learn a different perspective as well.
Oh, absolutely. We are, of course, very closely associated with Kiki. One of your leading lights is on our committee as well. Also, there are close bonds. Yeah, I live by the motto that every day should be a school day.
Yes.
And there is always new stuff to learn. And one of the great things about Prides is that you can go marching through any city, any town, and there will be people watching, and you can almost guarantee that at some point during the day, some of those people will come along and say, "What's all this then?"
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been shy of answering questions about myself. My only caveat is that the questions be asked in a spirit of genuine inquiry.
Yes.
So I will answer questions from genuinely interested people until the cows come home.
Mm-hmm.
Because if people don't know, then they can't react in a better way than people in the past might have, when such things were not spoken of, were not considered, were the object of ridicule, and worse, which still sadly in some places is still the case. Even in the Highlands, there are still instances of hate crime and an unwillingness to just let us be.
Mm-hmm.
Which is sad, but perhaps only to be expected anywhere. But
Yeah.
it's one of the reasons why we do have Pride, and Kiki. Kiki in particular is good at providing a regular safe space for like-minded people to come together, to interact, to form friendships and bonds, and basically know that they're not alone, which is
Hmm.
probably one of the most important things any organisation can ever do.
Yeah, exactly. And when you were saying sort of specifically with the Highlands, and there is, it is difficult to sort of turn away from sort of the hate crime that the
Mm,
LGBTQ plus community do get. I think one of the ones that we're all sort of aware of is a small thing, but makes a big difference is when people were removing the flags off of the Jocko shop.
mm,
There was a few attempts of that, and all Jocko did was, well, we'll just buy another flag and we'll put it back up because what difference does it make whether you take the flag away, because it doesn't change their perspective. Do you still think that attitudes have shifted over the years in the Highlands?
At this point, I have to plead a degree of ignorance because I've only been in the Highlands since late 2018.
I see, right.
And in all that time living my authentic life, I have not yet encountered any notable or serious issues,
Okay.
which I think is wonderful. Before that, I was up in Orkney for 14 years, and I socially transitioned while I was there. And for the most part, being on an island off an island, most people just didn't care.
Hmm.
You know, they were more concerned that I wasn't going to do anything to frighten the livestock.
Hmm.
You know, uh, and how I presented and lived was of absolutely zero interest to anyone.
Okay.
Um, I think I think what we get here and what we get in most places is that genuine indifference. Most people are not bothered. Most people will be broadly supportive, I think, unless we are somehow impacting negatively on their own life,
Hmm.
which very few people of any gender identity, sexuality, religious or political belief actually ever do. So I think it's one of those things that social media possibly inflates beyond its actual impact in 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 the world. Um, but the genie is unleashed, and there's not a lot that anyone can do
Hmm.
about that, I think. But yeah, you know, I'm sure there are worse places. Um, and the scenery is to die for, so.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, it really is. I'm similar to you. I moved up in 2019, and my
Okay,
my
yeah.
first job up here, funnily enough, was stewarding Pride.
Oh, wow.
I worked just as a sort of a one-off contract and was
Mm,
offered the Pride March, and I loved every second of it. And I remember talking to a lady at the very start and just saying, we have to be impartial because of the business that we were in.
yeah.
Um, but she said thank you very much, but once the jacket's been taken off, and she gave me a badge, so I'll be wearing that for the weekend for sure.
Oh,
um
lovely.
yeah, and it was a great experience, and I'd
Mm,
love to sort of take part as much as I can, and learn more about the LGBTQ plus community as well.
yeah.
Are there any standout moments from sort of past events that you've been a part of, that keeps you going for Pride?
Just the fact that we somehow manage to pull it all together every single year, and in recent years, every year we've managed to do it in a different way. It's the strength of the people who do the organizing that
Hmm.
is the thing. I am just one small cog in a smallish number of, I think at the moment the committee numbers 9, possibly 10 people.
Hmm.
Some are able to commit almost full time. Some, like me, do what we can when we can. A standout moment would be from, I think, the first march in 2019, there was one lone protester on the edges of Falcon Square
I remember that as well.
shouting
Yeah.
through the megaphone, and nobody paid him the moment's attention
Yeah.
at all, as this tide of rainbow colours just swept past, and that somehow it sticks in the mind, and it encapsulates I think the general feeling in the Highlands that who is this idiot? You know, why is he trying to spoil what is otherwise perfectly harmless fun? You know, and a good educational, enlightening day out with parties and rainbows and all the streamers and all the stuff. And he's there with his placard going, "You're all going to hell." Yeah, that's fine. Taxi. You know, can't wait. But yeah, there's any number. I was nominally site manager for Boot Park in, I think, 2022. First one after COVID. And that was a lot of hard work, but I had such a great team of volunteers with me that by the time the march actually reached us, everything was done, everything was ready. We were pinning out pride flags on the seating area, and somebody had brought this big bag of various LGBT flags, and none of us knew what any of them were, which was a mite embarrassing, but it led to a lot of Googling on my part. And because one of my sidelines is as an author, I have now produced a book of all the LGBTQ flags.
Yes.
It's the handy pocket guide, quick plug. It's called Under One Rainbow, and it's available in full color on Amazon. So,
amazing. I was literally going to plug that as well, funnily enough.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Thank you to it. Excellent.
So obviously it's Pride for Inverness this weekend. Tell us what is going on for this weekend as well as the rest of the month for Highland Pride.
Right. Well, today, Saturday, 7th of June, if you care, if you go down to the woods today, otherwise known as Falcon Square in the centre of Inverness, outside the Eastgate D2 Centre, from about 12:30 onwards, the parade will be assembling in Falcon Square. This year we are going from Falcon Square up English Street, turning to march down the High Street over the Ness Bridge, and then turning sharp left to go to Eden Court, where there are outdoor activities laid on by people such as Leap Sports. There will be a dancing flash mob, I'm told. And then indoors there is a Pride LGBTQ market with information stalls, sales stands, local businesses, at least one other local author, friend of mine, Vin George, go find him, he's brilliant. And all the local charities and self-help groups and all the stuff. That goes on from about 1:30 till roughly 4, and then we open the doors of the main theatre in Eden Court for a Rainbow Pride musical spectacular with local band Dash, local force of nature and drag queen Venus Skytrap.
Oh, I love a bit of Venus. Can't go wrong with Venus.
Doing the first of 3 gigs in a single day.
Wow. She keeps herself busy, doesn't she?
I don't want to be anywhere near her Sunday. She's going to be a rat. We have guest speakers, including MSP Emma Roddick, local councillor Sarah Fannett, Lady Carbisdale, and then Sugar Brown as well, local international performer. With a big musical number finish. I'm told there will be pyrotechnics, confetti cannons, It's going to be manic, it's going to be wild, it's going to be a fabulous day.
It sounds absolutely amazing, and I hope that the weather is holding out for you as well. So, to finally round things off, for people that may not see themselves as a part of the LGBTQ community, but may want to support Highland Pride in any way, how can they get involved in future events?
If you look on our Facebook page, Highland Pride LGBT community, you can message us through there, or we have an email for inquiries, which is, oddly, info@highlandpride.org. And either of those will find us. We can't always answer immediately, but somebody will answer you just as soon as one of us picks the inquiry up and has worked out what to actually do. We have an active volunteer circle. We keep in touch on a private WhatsApp group with them through the year, because we do also try and do other stuff through the year, like say for LGBT History Month in February, Trans Day of Remembrance at the end of November. And the LGBT calendar through the year is actually quite a full one. There are lots of celebrations, commemorations, awareness weeks. So we keep busy.
Yes, exactly. And I think definitely
more volunteers are always welcome.
Exactly, because I think a lot of people forget that Highland Pride is it's a Scottish charity. It's an SEIO, so it's similar to us as well, and it's
absolutely
run fully by volunteers as well. So we get we definitely get the strain of how to run a charity at fully volunteered base as well. And finally, Roz, before I let you go and go on to the march, for people who've never attended a Pride event before, whether that's a march or an indoor market similar to Eden Court, what would you say to them?
I would say come along with an open mind. Try not to come with the mindset that is looking for something to be shocked or upset or outraged over, because this is the opportunity for people to express themselves visibly, often in ways that they would not normally do. It's a special space. It's a set aside from the everyday reality of outfits and costumes, and you will quite often see butch strapping guys dressed in nothing but tiny PVC shorts and leather harnesses, people covered in rainbow paint, people sporting feathers everywhere. Obviously up here, the weather does play a small part in that, but you will see people with a lot more face paint and glitter and funny coloured hairs and all sorts of freedom of expression. So if you come with the open mind and the acceptance that this is our day, you will be more than welcome to join in, ask questions, learn stuff, interact. We're just ordinary people who happen to be either gay or lesbian or bisexual or trans or queer questioning or intersex or whatever. It's not our entire lives. This is the day when it can be, when we can stand up and say, we're here.
Thank you so much for your time today. Thanks,
You're
Roz.
very welcome. Have a great day.
There just isn't enough key changes anymore, Shannon.
No, we were just saying this off air. We need really good keychains in songs again.
I mean, there must have been a good 3 or 4 there. Surely at some stage he was on a stool but then gets up off a stool and sings passionately to a camera. Is there a wind machine?
Yeah.
We just don't get that anymore, do we?
No, exactly.
So is that telling us that this was quite some time ago? Possibly?
I don't know. From the information here, I feel quite old.
Welcome to my world. Welcome along. It's Guess the Year. That was your first clue. Will Young and Evergreen. Now, here's the thing. Was he a pop star? Was he a pop idol? Was he an X Factor?
I think he was pop idol.
Was he a pop idol,
I think
was he?
he was pop idol.
Well, that might help you towards figuring out what the mystery year is.
Because that was when Ant and Dec did pop idol.
Did they do Pop
They
Idol?
did Pop
No,
Idol. And
did they?
Larry did X Factor.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's more info than I've got in front of me.
I have really weird knowledge of Ant and Dec. Just putting out there.
Okay.
I have a weird...
This
because
needs
you've
more
put like Ant and Dec
investigation.
stuff in, I'm just like, I can do this in the timeline now.
Yeah. So Will Young and Evergreen spent 10 weeks in the top 10, 3 of which were at the top spot. The song would also become the best-selling single of the decade. Now, the Ant and Dec stuff continues in TV.
It does, yeah. Hitting the small screens for the first time in the UK was Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway, which... amazing. Imagine just winning stuff that you can just get off the adverts that are in the show.
Concept's great. Love the concept.
It was amazing concept, and I see why they finished it because adverts weren't really a
yeah,
thing.
there's no adverts anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
I'll just put it out there. Never watched an episode.
Did you not?
No.
Ant
again,
versus Dec was hilarious.
We have had this argument before. Saturday Night TV died for me when Noel's House Party ended, so that's it.
Bless you. Something that didn't particularly age well, Bill Selector.
I put it in there. It has to be discussed.
Yeah, it has to be discussed.
And we
that
have, and
was
we move on.
Lee Francis,
Yes.
the comedian who ran that. Cash in the Attic. I didn't know this was at this time. I thought it was a lot older than it was.
Well, again, there was probably lots of similar shows because that daytime BBC format of buying stuff, selling stuff, whether it's houses, antiques, cars, whatever. That's a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Fame Academy? I don't really remember what Fame Academy is. Is that
That's a
kind of like
BBC
Pineapple
one.
Dance Studios?
I think
kind
it
of
was, but it was also a kind of a Pop Factory style thing as well.
Okay, fair enough. Footballers' Wives was also on. I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here was this year, as well as the rebooted version of Top Gear. Yes, please.
Yes,
amazing.
indeed.
Everyone loved that. And in Scotland, we see Balamory, River City.
Since you're going to say Balamory, I've got it lined up.
Thank you so much. Now I've kind of figured out just from like Balamory. I think I've got.
Is that giving it away? Is it?
Balamory. It's great.
It's a cracker of a theme tune, definitely.
We like to go. I still really want to go to Balamory because of Balamory.
Well, again, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Balamory, yeah, River City, and there was something else Scottish.
Still Game.
Still Game
Love
debuts
Still
in
Game.
this year. That's right. Yes.
There's Miss Hooley from Balamory and Victor from Still Game are married in real life.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
They recently did a thing on wild swimming. Did you see
They
it?
do. They're doing a second season.
Are they?
They were in Nairn as well.
Oh, wow.
Not recently, but when they did the first season, and they had to sit in the poor traffic. It's not the fastest town in the north of Scotland at that point.
Nope.
Also, we saw the original run of Catchphrase end in this year, although
See.
some revamped episodes would later appear. And the final series, a snooker quiz show, Big Break.
Again, that is the year that Saturday Night Entertainment died.
So you would play snooker and answer questions at the
Yeah,
same time?
it was a really good idea actually to us. It was basically you had a bit of trivia,
Yeah.
and then so like a member of the public would be answering all the questions, and they'd be teamed up with a professional snooker player. So there'd be sort of themed rounds where, like, the first round the snooker player would pot as many reds as possible, and I think that stated how much a question was worth. Kind of like bullseye, I suppose.
Yeah, no,
And-
bullseye's good.
And
Yeah.
then the person asking answering the questions, the number of questions they got right in the final gave extra time, or it meant they could take reds off the table, and then the colours. So in snooker they've pot reds, then yellow,
yeah.
green, blue, brown, black, pink.
It was snooker loopy, my friend.
I was exactly what I was saying there. And screw back from the yellow, green, brown, blue, pink, and black. Snooker loopy. And that's our wee roll snooker loopy. So yeah, the more coloured balls they potted was a higher value of prize that you got.
Okay. I play pool.
Well,
It's
yeah.
easier.
But it had the famous line, "Can you sink the pink or down the brown?" was an interesting. Yeah, well, listen, I'm just saying that was what they used.
That's fair enough. Who was born in this year, Tom?
Well, Jenna Ortega, she was born on the 27th of September in this year. Of course, going on to play Wednesday Addams in Wednesday. Maddie Ziegler, who was made famous first of all by Dance Moms in America.
Oh yes, MTV's classic.
Indeed.
Right there.
She was the first dancer to be top of the pyramid in the show.
That's amazing.
I mean, there you go. Benson Boone, singer of songs such as Beautiful Things and Cry.
I'm older than
also,
Benson Boone.
Oh, don't give it away. Also, Benson Boone, big on TikTok as well. I think their first video was like a million views or something on TikTok, some massive amount of that. In sport, you've left yourself wide open for the sport here, Shannon.
I know,
Good luck.
I'm really sorry. So let me just get that up. Fraserburgh wins the Highland Football League in the same season that saw Inverie Loco Works joins to make the 15-team league. The UEFA Championship League.
UEFA, yep.
UEFA. Oh yeah, sorry. That
It's Keanu all over again.
The UEFA Champions League final is held at Hampton Park in Glasgow. The match between, help me.
Bayer Leverkusen.
Thank you. And Real Madrid saw the Spanish side emerge 2-1 winners. A terrible year for, please help me with this one,
Erdrionians.
fans. Despite the club winning the Challenge Cup and finishing second in the First Division, the club were liquidated and ceased to exist in this year. At the Winter Olympics, a good one to sort of
Yeah,
point
exactly.
where
So
you're at,
already
yeah?
that's narrowed down a 1 in 4 chance. The Winter
Isn't that
Olympics.
because it was Winter Olympics is always a year?
Oh, let's
Okay,
not.
no,
Let's
that's
not.
fine. Great Britain achieved 1 gold and 1 bronze as well. It was the women curling team campaign with captained by Rona Martin, who claimed the top medal. The bronze was won by Alex Coomer in the skeleton.
Do you know what the skeleton is?
I really want to try a skeleton. That
Really?
looks hilarious.
That's the head first down the luge.
I want to run down Cooper Hill before I'm 30. You know, the cheese rolling thing.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
If that's
you
not head first as
seen
much as skeleton. Like,
Some of the videos of the cheese rolling from this year. There's a guy. I think he gets launched about 30 feet in the air at one stage, somersaulting.
oh, he's fine.
Yes, he's got
He
cheese.
literally bounced. You know when you go to a kid when they fall over, it's like, they bounce.
He bounced. It's fine.
He
It's fine.
definitely
It's fine.
bounced.
Don't react to it. What you do? Oh, are you okay? Everything's fine. You don't get upset.
Exactly.
And the movies, your top 5 highest grossing movies. At 5, Die Another Day. That was Pierce Brosnan's last appearance as James Bond. And then Star Wars Episode 2, which of course we all know is the 5th movie in the franchise. At 3, Monsters Inc.
I can't believe Monsters Inc.
is this old.
Yeah.
Monsters Inc. Then we go into those films, right? It's that era. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring.
So
I
that's
don't know
the
which one that is.
second
Is that the
film.
second one?
Yeah.
Thank you. So that's what, about 7 hours into the trilogy?
Basically, yeah. When you're watching the director's extended cut, then yeah, it's about 7 hours in.
Hard work.
Yeah.
And then we've got Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
So that was I want to say second one. Chamber of Secrets? Yeah, because the first one's Philosopher's Stone, or the Sorcerer's Stone if you're wrong. Yeah, so it must be. Yeah, second one, I think.
If you're wrong. No, I just love it. If you're
true, though.
wrong. Yeah.
Sorry, you can't pronounce sorcerers. Not sorcerers, philosophers.
Well,
Yeah.
in the news this year, nice cheery stuff.
Oh.
The foot and mouth crisis, which has existed for the past 11 months, is declared over. This was massive at the time.
I
know you
remember
were,
this being big in the news because, like, down south, we're very big on our farming. Like,
Indeed,
yeah.
absolutely. It was. I remember going on holidays of the summer of the previous year, and it was very eerie. You couldn't go into the countryside; it was closed off. You know, really a lot of areas, a lot like like tourist attractions, like city farms and stuff.
Yeah,
or,
like
like
petting zoos
Yeah,
and
that
things.
kind of
Yeah,
all
yeah.
closed,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
gone. And of course there was these. I just remember the smell and the sight of the smoke. It was horrendous. What a awful time for the farming community
Yeah,
and the whole country. But
definitely.
yeah, it was over in this year. BBC Six music launches in this year, Shannon.
See, I always think like BBC Six was always there.
No.
but apparently not.
You could only count to 5 back then. I don't know. Are you a Six music listener at times?
I quite like a Six music. Nick Grimshaw's on it, so I try and have a listen to him.
So
Like,
Craig Charles is on in the afternoons.
love Craig Charles.
Love Craig Charles.
His
We've got a Craig.
daughter went to my uni and did my course.
We're
before
going
me.
to talk about a Craig Charles connection to the hospital later on.
We do. We need to find this person.
Yes,
to say,
exactly. We
like-
need to know who this is. The 800-year history of coal mining in Scotland comes to an end with the closure of the final pit. It was Longanna in Fife. And but good news, the Falkirk Wheel opens. Do you know the Falkirk Wheel?
No, is it like a little London Eye, or?
Well,
I'm not calling it a London Eye.
better
I'm just
than
saying,
that.
is it similar to?
Do you remember when we had the Seagull Trust in?
Yes.
And the Seagull Trust go out on the canal, here on the Caledonian Canal,
Okay.
and they take people out, people with additional needs, or the elderly, or people with mobility issues, and they
Yeah.
take them out for a wee day trip on the canal.
We need to get our invite
We
sorted.
do need to go and see that, yeah. Well, that's the Highland branch. So there is a branch in Falkirk. You've got Falkirk and you've got Kirkintilloch.
Right.
The
Okay.
Falkirk Wheel is a canal wheel.
Is it like a roundabout for
No,
boats?
it's up and down. Yeah.
No way.
So you've got the.
I've only seen these things in Thomas the Tank Engine.
Well,
this is insane.
So imagine this, right? You've got the Forth and Clyde Canal, which goes from the River Forth
Yeah.
all the way through to Glasgow. The other side of Glasgow, Helensburgh direction.
Okay.
Bowling, I think, is where it ends, and that's where it joins the Clyde.
Yeah.
But then you have the Union Canal that joined from where Falkirk is, where the basin is there, and goes all the way to Edinburgh.
Okay.
So when the Union Canal comes in, it's about 200 metres up. Like a big hill.
So is it like an elevator for boats?
Yes.
That's
So
hilarious. Yes,
you get
please.
one boat in the bottom comes in and it's filled with water, and the top one does, and then it rotates.
Oh, so do you have to wait for another boat to do it?
No.
So you have to have two
don't have
boats
to
at
wait
the
for
same
two
time?
boats because
Okay.
the water.
I was going to say, I was like,
itself
imagine
out.
waiting there being like, is anyone coming?
Is anyone? Well worth checking out. It's an amazing feat
Do you
of
know what?
engineering.
I might have to book in a trip to Falkirk to specifically see the boat elevator.
I mean, I'm sure there's other good things in Falkirk.
It's the horses, isn't there?
You've got the Kelpies, of course.
Yes.
Kelpies are at the
Kelpies.
exit of the canal as well.
Ah, 2 in 1, sorted.
Absolutely, you've got two things. Yeah, the Kelpies are great. I do have a joke. Every time we've got family down there. In fact, that's where Laura and Jess are just now. Hello. They're down in Bo'ness,
Oh, okay.
which is just next to Falkirk,
Yes.
because the Bo'ness Fair is coming up.
Ooh,
We'll talk about that later.
okay.
And whenever we're on the M9, when the tree's clear and you see the horses, I always make a oh,
Whose horse is that?
look at the horses. Aye. So there is your clues for this year. We've got a final song as well, though, Shannon.
Yes, it is the Christmas #1 of this year. It's Guzzle Loud, Sound of the Underground.
Not a very Christmassy song, this, but
I know the year
I'm loving
already.
it. Oh, she's got the
sorted.
year. Well, find out after this. It's the Sound of the Underground. It is Girls Aloud.
It is.
And that's the thing that's given it away for you, I believe, Shannon. You are 100%
Well,
sure.
there was a couple of things. I was like Ballymorey. I was like, I kind of remember that, but it was the Ant and Dec knowledge that I have, and I knew it was 2002.
Correct.
Yay! That's
Yeah.
as far as I'll go on when I discuss the whole like Ant and Dec things. I became a single child. I'm sorry.
Anne and Dec are the giveaway. Yes, it was 2002. Congratulations if you got that, whether you're listening on the wards, at home, or anywhere. I just wanted to take a bit more time to talk about something we spoke about previously. This was the Youth Philanthropy Initiative.
Yes.
So, I think a few weeks ago, when we were last here, we spoke about how Nairn Academy had chosen us as their, or a group of kids at Nairn Academy had chosen us to represent hospital radio in the hope of maybe we might win a grant. And we announced that we were successful.
Yes.
The kids won. And as a result of them winning, a grant was coming our way. And we thought that's phenomenal. We were so pleased and very proud. And we've seen some of the pictures from the event. They did a great job. Then we got another message saying from Culloden Academy. Now, we already knew that they were representing us as well. And they said, we're doing our thing this week. Could somebody pop by? So a couple of the team went along and said hello. And would you believe it? We only went and got that one as well.
No
the
way.
kids at Culloden, who were representing Highland Hospital, have
Aw.
won the YPI as well. So not one grant,
That's incredible.
but two grants are coming
That's
to
so
us,
good.
which is incredible. And the thing that's most humbling, certainly from my Saturday drop-in presenter side, but also the official chair of the charity side, is we didn't ask them to do it.
No.
they
found us.
They found us.
Yeah.
And we've given them away with lots of information about what we do. And they took that and presented it to the school, and yeah, they chose us. So thank you so much. Already said thank you to Nairn Academy, but thank you again. Thank you to Culloden Academy.
Amazing.
I'm lost for words about it.
Yeah.
And it's, do you know what? It's a bit tough doing this from time to time. The old hospital radio. It takes up quite a lot of my time. And yours and everybody's. And you have wee down moments where it's maybe getting a bit too much. But having these kids come in and say, "Oh, we're interested in that. We
And
want
we
to talk
want to
about
help
it,
as well.
and we want to help," has given me such a boost. And I'm back. I'm fighting fit.
Yeah.
I'm here for at least another year. It's all good. And I just want to give an honourable mention to Milburn Academy. So a group of kids there chose us as well. They came into the studio beforehand. We gave them a tour of the place. They were spinning some vinyl next door in Studio 2. They were in here learning about the system worked. Now, they put in a great presentation as well. Unfortunately, they didn't get picked. But we are so pleased and grateful because, and I said this to them at the time when they were in visiting, it doesn't matter if we win. Because I'm probably rubbish at fundraising because I don't like asking for money. I'm terrible at it.
You're the worst when we go out for events.
I
You love giving out a flyer, but the moment there's money involved,
I can't do it. I have to walk away because I don't like asking for money. Which, when you're in charge of a charity, that's not a good.
It's not great.
Which is why we need a professional fundraiser. But when they come in and I was explaining it, says whether you win or not, for us, for our perspective, is not what's important, or certainly for me, it's that you've come in and you've spent some time with us and you want to find out more, and it's amazing. Thank you so much.
And it's amazing to see young people wanting to find out more about us.
Absolutely, yes.
Because we are an older generation kind of show. I would like to think our show might hit 30s.
Maybe, yeah. Well, that's our average age, I think.
Exactly.
No, there's no doubt about it. Hospital radio's got a couple of problems with it. One is, people associate it with an older generation. They associate a certain style of music that features on it. It's not all Callum Kennedy and Sidney Devine. Sometimes it is, but that's called a request show.
We've got Daniel O'Donnell.
We've got Daniel O'Donnell. He transcends all generations. But it's changed. Another thing, do you get this when you say to people, I do hospital radio? Do they say, oh, have you seen that episode of Still Game?
No, I don't
So
actually.
we
usually get
all
asked,
the time.
what songs can't you play?
Which Ali,
There are a few.
So Ali, who is one of our colleagues who does the tech stuff and used to do some shows as well, we are all going to sit down one night at midnight and have a show that we're not allowed to play, songs that we're not allowed to play during the day, and we're going to do a midnight
This is
show.
5 years in the making.
It is 5 years. It's going to happen. But one thing that you might not know about us here at Hospital Radio is, yes, of course, we've still got, for example, Donnie Aird, who started the service in 1970, 55 years ago this year. Donnie's still here, and he still does a great job, helps us out, keeps
Still
us right.
pops in, yeah. Still tells you off.
Still tells me off. But we've also got people who are 16, 17, 18, 27.
Yeah.
We've got all the...
Started this when I was 21.
Exactly.
22, yeah.
So, hospital radio, it's for everybody. And I think on today of all days, we really mean that. It is for everybody.
It is for everybody.
So why don't you get involved? Come along and do some stuff. It's not just about presenting either. If you've got some social media skills, Shannon will work with you on that.
I will work with you very hard.
Digital design, some admin, but most importantly, if you're a good fundraiser, if you have no shame about rocking up to somebody and saying, give some money, we want to hear from you here at Highland Hospital Radio.
And it is the Saturday drop-in. You're in with Shannon and Tom. We've had so much fun, and we're already three-quarters of the way done for the show, and it's pretty much time for Be Detective. So it should be available on social media very, very soon, but it is the game that we play. So the super duper computer gives us the last song. It sets up all the songs, but we keep the last song as it is. And we cryptically hide it in a couple of clues to see if you guys can figure out what the last song is. It just keeps you waiting for the end of the show.
Exactly. It means you have to stick around. You can't get away from us.
Of course.
Now, this week it's my turn driving the desk. So I have created your Beat Detective, which therefore means it's achievable. I said it.
Oh.
Shannon's ones are impossible, I think.
I don't think they're that impossible. I just love a puzzle.
Yes. Well, you're going to love this.
Oh.
So, the idea is we tell you an artist and a song, but they've been hidden cryptically. So, let's start with your artist, okay? It is a one-word artist.
Okay.
Just one word. That's all we need here.
Right.
This area isn't for girls, but the girls will still love it.
Okay. Nice.
I'm not discriminating. I'm just,
No, absolutely.
I'm not doing what Yorkie did for years and have a marketing campaign that...
Yeah, but they sold so much chocolate bars
It's
because
ridiculous. I love this idea of, we're going to have a marketing campaign that excludes 50% of the population, but they still sell chocolate.
Yeah, but they sold more because of it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Fight for women's rights.
Yes,
In
please.
chocolate bars.
And via the
And more.
I'm going to eat a Yorkie out of protest.
Yeah.
And your song is made up of 3 words, an alternative rhythm in music. Nice and short and sweet this time. An alternative rhythm in music. That's your beat detective.
Okay. I think I've got the artist. I just don't know any songs from them.
Okay. Your artist once again. One word. This area isn't for girls, but the girls will still love it. And song, 3 words. An alternative rhythm in music.
Okay.
That is the last song that's going to be on today's show, so you definitely need to stick around now.
You do.
To be able to find out what it is.
Exactly. And if you need to sort of quickly go through that, you need to sort of see it in word form. It should be available on our social media. It is at Highland Hospital Radio on Facebook and Instagram. So
yeah.
Comment underneath if you fancy an answer.
Oh, yes, please.
We'll give you a wee shout out.
You can show off. Yeah, absolutely. We're totally up for that.
Exactly.
Now, your Saturday drop-in, what we do here is we have the doors open. And we can. Shannon's on the guest side, so she can have a look down the corridor and see what's going on. And we are usually here every Saturday. I mean, obviously, last week was a slight scheduling error, which meant we couldn't be.
Next week, still got an incredible show.
You got a best of. Exactly. Yeah. All shows that start to struggle with content have a best of. So there we go. It's time for one of our favourite features. It's time for this or that. We look at something that's going on in the world. It could be, like an awareness day for in the world of medicine, and we find some topics on that.
So last time we did celiac awareness.
We did, and that was absolutely outstanding. Yeah. Great public service radio there.
Mm-hmm.
Today, not so much, because today, Shannon Marvel, did you know today is National Butterfly Day?
Love butterflies.
I love a butterfly, exactly.
Ben has a bit of a fear of them. He doesn't like them.
Ooh.
It's quite funny.
Because
I was like, I found one in, when they get caught up in like your laundry on like the whirligig. And I'm like, wow, look at butterfly. And he's like, bird away.
By the way,
I can't go near you.
Word of the day here, whirligig.
Whirligig.
We're going to get messages about that.
It's a whirligig.
Yeah, I know what whirligig is.
I've been told it's a whirligig.
Of course it's a whirligig. What else could it be? So, because it's National Butterfly Day, raising awareness for butterflies, because at the end of the day, they're all part of the cycle, circle of life.
They're a pollinator.
Wheel of Fortune, Leap of Faith,
Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah. Circle of Life.
Yeah, Elton John it. You
Thank
do it.
So, it's the usual thing. I've got a list of 10 things. Some are butterflies and some are not.
Okay.
So, are you ready to play Butterfly or Flutter By?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Okay, Shannon Marvel.
Yes.
I've got some funny names for you, and you need to tell me if they're a butterfly or not.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Right.
So our first one is the Sarah Orange Tip. Sarah Orange Tip. Is that butterfly or Flutter By?
I'm going to say it is butterfly.
You would be correct. It is a butterfly. It is Anthocharis Sarah. The Sarah Orange Tip is one of 3 species in the Sarah Orange Tip complex.
Oh, very nice. I'm going to quickly look what it looks like. Hang on 2 seconds. Oh, yeah, no, definitely. Literally, it
is
just
it orange?
It's white with an orange tip.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sometimes the names just speak for themselves. Next up, number 2, we have the Wonderpus photogenicus. Wonderpus photogenicus.
Well, photogenic means it looks pretty, right?
Mm-hmm.
In some people's form.
Pretty butterflies.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say... Oh, it's hard because it's like, come on, like...
How could you not? There's no such thing as a non-photogenic butterfly. Although that's a moth, I suppose.
Ooh. I think moths are pretty.
Okay.
When you get like the big one, we used to get big ones back home. I'm going to say Flutter By.
She's saying Flutter By, and you're correct. That is not a butterfly. It is, and the pus bit is the bit that gives it away. It's a photogenic octopus. It's a very pretty octopus. Is the Wonderpus photogenicus.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Nice.
You'll need to Google these later. Come on.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Yes, Wonderpus photogenicus is very pretty indeed. To describe to the listeners, it's got an orangey middle bit. Yeah, it's like a zebra, and it's got stripy bits.
Form.
And again, that is a very photogenic octopus.
I like that. That's very cool.
Next up, we have got a ruddy daggerwing.
A ruddy dagger
Ruddy
wing.
dagger wing. I mean, it sounds like
It sounds like a Toy Story character, doesn't it?
Oh, it sounds like when your dad's angry, but he doesn't want to say proper swears. Oh, ruddy dagger wing.
Is that when you go peas and rice?
Peas and rice.
Peas and rice. I'm going to
Is that a butterfly or
say...
Flutter By?
What, peas and rice? I'm going to say it is a Flutter By.
I'm afraid you're wrong. It's a butterfly. Marpacia petrus, the ruddy daggerwing, is a species of butterfly belonging to the family Nymphalidae. It is found in Brazil. There you go. But you also
Very
get a bit of
nice.
Central America, Mexico, the West Indies, and southern Florida as
it's-
well.
It's very pretty.
I mean, we're not going to get some unpretty things, really. They're all pretty
Yeah.
in their own special way.
Exactly.
So currently you are 2 right, 1 wrong, I'm
Okay,
afraid.
That's not too bad. Worse things have happened.
Next up is number 4, the tasselled wobblegong.
Sorry.
I'll say it again. The tasselled wobblegong.
G-O-N-G.
Correct,
Okay,
yes.
not
Is
the
that going to
other
matter, is it?
Wait, if the G was a D. Yeah, sorry. Still. A wobble gong.
Yeah, tasselled wobblegong.
That sounds like it would be something. I'm going to say butterfly.
I'm afraid you're wrong. It's a
Oh.
flutterby. It is a species of carpet shark. Just imagine a shark, but it's got little floaty bits at the front. A
Like a bit of
tasseled-
a moustache.
Yeah, yes. Imagine like you've got your rug, but it's got the sort of tassels. Yeah. So it's a carpet shark. Yeah, remember that. There's a history lesson right there. Eh? How do you
I
hoover
love
that?
Yeah, wow.
A
Oh,
tasseled-
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
there
like,
you go.
You used to
Exactly.
like plait them when you were a kid and stuff like that, and my nan would tell me stop doing it.
So that was your tasselled wobblegong. Number 5. I'm afraid you're at 50%. You're 2 out of 4 so far.
That's fine.
Number 5 is chicken turtle.
A chicken turtle.
Chicken turtle. Is that a butterfly or shall we flutter by?
I'm gonna say it's a butterfly.
Oh, Shannon, no, it's a flutterby. No.
No.
It's a type of turtle that tastes like chicken. Type it in, it's what it is.
What?
It's a turtle that, unfortunately, because of its yummy taste, over time, I think it might actually be nearly extinct because of how delicious it is.
I'm currently Googling this in all caps just because I'm just
Oh.
like, what is happening?
Chicken turtle, yes.
Oh no, don't he look so
A
cute?
delicious
though.
little turtle that tastes like chicken.
Aw.
Number 6. Are you okay over there?
Yeah, he just looks so cute.
Number 6 is a two-barred flasher.
A two-part flasher.
Two-barred flasher.
No way, these. Ah,
Is that butterfly or flutterby?
I'm gonna say butterfly.
Well, she's got one. Well
Yeah.
done. Yes, it is a
hilarious.
butterfly. Telegonus fulgurator, a two-barred flasher, is a species of spread-winged skipper butterfly in the family Hesperidae, which may constitute a possible cryptic species complex. Yeah, again,
Ah.
I've copied that from
They're
someone.
quite nice.
Yes, a two-barred flasher.
Yeah, I quite like the look of them. They've got like a blue body. Yeah. 10
This
out of 10. With butterfly.
Well, no, not 10 out of 10. Sorry, you're not doing that well. I apologise. You're
only.
listening to This or That, Butterfly or Flutterby. So your next one, Shannon, is, this will be number 7, a strange-tailed tyrant. A strange-tailed tyrant. Is that a flutterby or is it a butterfly?
I'm going to say it is. What am I on? 7. Flutter By.
You would be correct. It is a flutterby. Yes, the strange-tailed tyrant belonging to the Tarandae family. Tarandae bird family. It is literally
I was
a
going to
bird
say
with a strange
it's
tail.
a bird with a really long tail.
Yeah, it's like it's got. You know when you get like one single feather off a big bird. Imagine
I've
a wee
seen
bird
this on
and somebody's
TikTok.
got that.
There was like a viral video of one of these like flying around because they're just like it's like 2 random bits of feathers. Like,
It looks
at the
like
end.
one of us is trying to flap wings with feathers.
It is very much a Tom and Jerry situation, isn't it? Like,
The strange-tailed tyrant. Well done. You got that one correct.
shame it's not a butterfly, but it's a pretty cool bird.
Next up on Butterfly or Flutterby, number 8, the California dogface.
I'm going to say that is butterfly.
That is
Yep.
indeed a butterfly, yes, indeed. Xerine eurydice, the California dogface butterfly, belongs to the family Peridae and is a sister genus to Coleus.
Yeah, you usually see these like quite regularly. They're just like the garden butterflies because they're like yellow with the black dot.
Ah,
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Number 9 in Butterfly or Flutter By, the mustached puffbird. The mustached
Now, the
puffbird.
word bird is the word.
Surely it can't just be a bird.
I don't think it is. It must be a butterfly.
So you're saying that's a butterfly?
I'm going to say
You're wrong. It's Flutter By.
it's not a bird.
It is
It's
literally.
literally a bird.
It's literally a puffy bird that's got a mustache. Quite
No, wait.
literally.
Hang on. What is it called again?
The mustached puffbird. The mustached puffbird, Malcopitula mystacalis, is called a puffbird because it looks plump, round, and puffy thanks to its short tail and fluffy feathers.
He's quite cute. He looks like a Steve.
Looks like a Steve.
He looks like a Steve.
It's number 10. So far, you've got 1, 2, you've got 5. Right. Oh, so it kind of all hinges. Can you get more than 50%? If you don't get this right, it's a 50%, which I think's a pretty poor outing. Our final Butterfly or Flutter By. Zebra longwing. Zebra longwing. Is that a butterfly or a Flutter By?
I'm going to say, trying to think how many flutterbys I've used and how many butterflies I have left. I'm going to say butterfly. It
And
might
nobody
be the
said it
last
was a
one.
50-50 split, by the way.
Did you not? Is it not a 50-50 split?
Yeah, but nobody said that.
I'm going to say butterfly.
You'd be correct. It is indeed butterfly. 6 out of 10 for Shannon. The Heliconius charathonia, the zebra longwing or zebra heliconian, is a species of butterfly belonging to the subfamily Heliconiae of the family Nymphalidae. It was first described by Carl Linnaeus in his 1767 12th edition of Systema Naturae.
Wow, they are very stripy boys. the butterfly.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're very stripy.
nobody thought otherwise.
Good.
So that was Butterfly or Flutter By. Shannon Marvel, you have scored 6 out of 10.
I think I've learnt more about butterflies than I ever have
And do you know what?
previously. And we used to do the caterpillars that you used to look after them at school, and then they turn into butterflies, and you send them away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm well aware. Yeah. Thanks for that education there,
I was
Shannon.
hoping for the standard, peacock butterfly.
Well, I
But
couldn't.
No, of course not.
I was hardly going to use one if its name had butterfly in it.
I did
that
Animal
would have been
Crossing as well. I should really know this. I've completed all the butterflies.
Animal
all the
Crossing is one of your
insects.
favourite things ever, according to hhr.scot/presenters/Shannon Marvel.
It is, yeah. I haven't played it for like 2 years, so the weeds. And you are in for the Saturday drop-in for 15 minutes, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's time flies by.
I know.
A couple of quizzes, great interview, a couple of tracks,
Yeah.
done. 2 hours, excellent.
Sorted, go home.
Yeah.
It's never the case because we sit and do the podcast
We have got
afterwards.
some podcast extras to discuss, a few wee bits and bobs. Also, I get some fun stuff to do before I have to go and pick up my son. My son's at Fairburn today, so I need to go and pick him up, must remember. But I get to do the IT stuff. I've got updates to run. Yay!
We love an update, though.
No, we don't, because usually it shuts down the whole system.
But we have backups.
The CD player is down there and ready to go.
Exactly.
Yes, all part of the fun. So we get to host shows. We get to do social
software.
media.
Oh, yeah.
We get to do admin. We get to do the tech stuff where we ensure the system's working fine and do the computer stuff. And we're all volunteers.
Yeah, we
Which is
are 100%
crazy.
volunteer charity. We don't pay anyone to do the jobs. It would
No,
be
no.
great to, but it's just not achievable. Just
No,
now, and that's
unfortunately
fine.
not. No, but that's good. That's fine. So yeah, we all volunteer. And it's Volunteers Week. Shannon, you've been putting up lots of really good Volunteers Week stuff on the social media. No, genuinely, it looks fantastic. If you've not seen it already, folks, get yourself along to our Facebook page and on Instagram as well, where you can see some of the stories from our volunteers about why we do it and what we get out of it. If you maybe have some spare time, and I don't just mean come and volunteer for us, volunteer for anything. There's loads
Yeah,
of great
of course,
organisations that
yeah.
are looking for volunteers. Maybe you're getting close to retirement and you're thinking, what am I going to do with myself? Well, there's lots of great things you can do. Maybe you're at high school, getting towards the end of high school, you're thinking, am I going to go straight to college, uni? Do I want to go and just get a job? And maybe you're looking for something, go and do some volunteering just now.
Yeah,
Looks
lots of
good in
big
the
jobs
CV.
are asking for life skills
Exactly.
as well, or things like that. Just living life, and one of those things that you can include is volunteering.
Absolutely. So, have a look around. We've got lots of different things. It's not just talking into a microphone. Lots of things that need to get done. But I'm thinking of some of the organisations that we've had in over the past
6 months.
6 months, yeah. I'm thinking, well, we had the blood bikes in, the Highland blood bikes, so they look for people to do some admin work, of course, but then you can do some of the delivery work they do, and not always on a motorbike. So if you've just got a car licence, they do that in cars and vans as well. We had the RNLI, they need volunteers. We had Red Chair Highland.
Seagull Trust.
Oh, the Seagull Trust as well, just recently there. We've had ILM Highland. So many great organisations. Now, what to do is, if you're looking for some options, get yourself along to the website. That's our website, hhr.scot. If you go to news, you can go back and see all the people we've had in the studio.
Exactly. Or if you want, listen to the podcast, because we keep the chat with the charities in as well.
Exactly, because that's the main highlight, to be honest, is listening to what the charities have said.
Yeah.
So lots of options out there for you to look at. Volunteers Week.
One more day.
One more day.
One more social media post, and then we're good.
Oh, yeah.
And I left your favourite to the last. Donations.
I don't cope well with this. I don't like asking for money.
I know.
But, we could do with some. We were talking earlier about how we were successful with the Youth Philanthropy Initiative with Nairn Academy in Culloden. The money's already spent.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people think, well, you've just got this grant in. It's like it doesn't even meet the bank account half the time.
Yeah, so that's been spent on outside broadcast equipment, hence Woodstock next week.
Which is incredible and really exciting because it means that we can just take it anywhere.
Absolutely.
And we can train people up. And if they want to go to events or they want to do something just generally outside the wards, even if it is just when, say, like you and Jess do the Christmas Day request show, you can just take it up there and do what you need to do. Like,
so if you'd like us to come and see you, let us know. Yeah. We do lots of things. Whether
not just Inverness.
Not just Inverness, the whole NHS Highland area.
I know someone who gets free train tickets.
Yes. How we're going to fit the OB kit onto a train, though, I don't know.
Don't you have like suitcase holding areas?
Yeah, suitcases. Have you seen the OB kit?
No.
No, it's quite big.
Oh.
We're getting a trailer, but that's another story. Yes. So, yeah, go and volunteer. It'll do you the world of good. I feel great for volunteering. Thoroughly enjoy it.
I love it so much. It's
Absolutely.
Great.
And we get to have fun as well, which
exactly.
is part of it. You're allowed to enjoy volunteering.
Yeah.
We spoke at the very beginning of the show about arcades. We've got a couple of minutes before we announce Beat Detective, and I'm going to throw you this one. What's your favourite arcade game? If you go to the arcade, right, what are you going for first?
So automatically, I would do the horse derby. You know, one where you like throwing the balls into
that
one.
I thought you meant like the one where you have to like ride on a horse
No,
and pretend you're a jockey.
No.
But
I lived in Newmarket. That was like part of the school curriculum.
Right, okay.
But no, the one where you like throw, it's like
you throw a ball up.
Ski ball or something
and
like
it's like
that.
different numbers.
And then the numbers make your horse go faster and stuff. That after a couple of drinks is hilarious. So yeah.
I'm thinking I like my pusher machines.
Yeah.
Give me a pusher machine.
Not anymore. Now they're turned into contactless.
But again, there's no coins come out of these ones. And I found one where I was away and I become quite addictive to these things, so I need to be careful around them. But especially if you've got a card that you just tap endlessly and the money just drains out of your account. Anyway, right. In terms of a game that would play,
okay,
we have to go straight for the air hockey.
Air hockey is
air
good.
hockey.
Yeah.
Kids love it as well. The whack-a-mole.
Do you know, I love a whack-a-mole because I'm just good at it.
That's therapeutic.
Yeah.
Yep. What else? What else do you get? I mean, there's like the shooting games and stuff. There was one called Time Crisis that I played when I was growing up.
Alright.
We'd always play that.
Would you go for like a car racing game?
Don't mind a car racing game. Yeah, I
don't mind them. They're okay, but I think just like a classic claw machine.
Oh, no, but then you get annoyed because they're so fixed. Yeah, because you pick up, you're like, I've got it, and you're like, come on, that's mine. No, it drops it.
You need to go to Japan.
Tell me
you
more.
need to go to Japan because one of their like social nightlife things is like massive arcade places. Like these are like 5 stories high.
And they're open 24 hours.
They're open 24/7, so you can like go in at any point in the day, like straight after work, and go and play arcades. Because obviously, like in Japan, they're trying to promote more of like a socializing after work and stuff because they do really long hours and stuff. So arcades are just like the place to go for them. Like, and it's still like 100 yen, which is basically a quid.
Yes, let's do it. Let's go to the arcade.
Let's go.
Live from Cadona's in Aberdeen next week. Grampian Hospital Radio just need to step aside a wee bit.
We've got Woodstocks.
Oh, we've got Woodstock next week. We'll have an arcade day.
Oh, we should do Grampian Hospital Radio v Highland Hospital Radio
on air hockey.
Just in the arcades.
Arcade in general.
Yeah.
Well, we planned that. Let's tell you the answer to this week's Beat Detective.
I'm very excited for this.
It was a good one. I was quite pleased with it. So, this area isn't for girls, but the girls will still love it. You got this, Shannon.
Yeah. So it's Boyzone.
It is indeed Boyzone.
But I don't know any songs. I can't like pick and choose. Oh, this song is this title when it comes down to Boyzone songs.
So an alternative rhythm in music. Another term for a rhythm in music might be a beat.
Yeah.
And if it's alternative, it would be a different beat.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this was a comic relief song.
No way.
Yeah. So this is what we're leaving you with. Your answer to Beat Detective. It's Boyzone. In the meantime, we'll say cheerio for now for live listeners.
Cheerio.
Bye. So there you go, folks. That was this week's edition. I have thoroughly enjoyed today's show. It flies by because we do a 2-hour live show. If you're listening to the podcast, we try and edit it down as much as we can. But it does kind of run over a bit sometimes, into like an hour and a bit.
We did better than the last time we were about, where we had to do the answer to Beat Detective in the podcast.
That was poor. That was very bad.
That was unprofessional, and we do apologise for that. Sorry, you're right.
No, I'm just... So
don't want to spit your soup everywhere.
No, I apologise. I am broadcasting or podcasting whilst eating, and that's poor, I know.
Sorry.
Obviously not in the studio, because you're not allowed to eat in the studio.
No,
and we never do.
not.
How's your coffee?
It's great.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I'm absolutely starving. Because I was up early this morning.
Sorry, that was really hot. I was like,
Sorry, is the coffee, it's double espresso I got you hot? Sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fine.
I had to be up early this morning to take Henry to Fairburn, which is out by sort of Muirvord kind of direction.
Okay. Oh, so you're going back my way after the show?
Yes, exactly, yeah. I need to remember and pick him up. So I need to leave here by 4.
Yeah, don't leave him in the back aisle on his own.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Dangerous for a 9-year-old.
Hopefully as long
Might
as
learn
he's...
shinty.
as long as his midgie spray keeps him going, he should be okay. Now, I will be listening to, podcasts on the way.
Yeah.
It keeps you going.
Mm-hmm.
What was keeping you going on your 5K this week,
It was your messages. So, ScotRail have been doing... Is it because Kylie's coming to Scotland that they've just decided to do a big campaign push about all the songs that sound a bit like places? So obviously there's Kylie of Lochaush. So we'll break for a second.
No, we won't break for a second. We'll
sure?
keep going. Yeah, I'm good.
Kylie of Lochaush, and then the one that you sent me yesterday as I was starting my run was, let me just quickly get there, Can't Get You Out of My Bar Head. And I was like, wow, that's it's bad and amazing at the same time.
Quality. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm eating my sandwich. I'm being very rude. So we sort of thought about how they didn't do it for Robbie Williams the week before.
Because he was at Murrayfield.
He was at Murrayfield
weekend just
last
gone.
weekend, 2 weeks ago.
Because it was funny, we were leaving Edinburgh because we got the plane from Dublin. Not from Dublin. From Edinburgh to Dublin.
Yeah.
So, we get the tram down and go past Murrayfield and we're like, they're setting up for Robbie Williams. That's kind of cool. And then we're getting into Dublin and they're setting up for Morrissey. Hilarious.
right.
We're just like, should we see if Morrissey's got tickets available? Obviously not. And we're just like, will he be about? So we did do a quick Morrissey, is he around? Probably wasn't, let's be real. It's Morrissey. But yeah, weird. But I sort of mentioned as I was starting this run, I was like, right, I need motivation one way or another. Why haven't they done anything about Robbie Williams? Can you do anything specific for Scottish places but with the songs of Robbie Williams?
So, challenge accepted. The first one right off the bat for up here in the Highlands was, of course, Let Me Entertain You.
Amazing.
I was quite pleased with that.
I enjoyed that. That was amazing.
I was pleased with that.
I had a proper giggle at that. Mm-hmm. Which is when I mentioned that this is something to get me through my 5K.
Exactly. So this is the WhatsApp exchange that's going on between me and Shannon this week. So she says, what I needed a quarter way through my 5K, and I says, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Had a quick think about some more. Then we had No Regrets na Green.
Yeah. So bad, but it's those ones what you need, you know what I mean?
Oh, when it's so bad it's good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if ScotRail can do it, I think we can as
exactly,
well.
Yeah.
So I came in with a pretty bad one, but
it was.
I was hitting the point of
How far into the 5K were you when you were having a thing when this came up?
I was about just over halfway, and I was feeling it. It got to the part where the teens were coming in for their teens gym session, and I was like, I don't want to see me like that. So I, instead of Road to Mandalay, I was like, Road to Manswood.
Where's Manswood?
In Scotland.
Is it? and there's a train station, because this was the whole thing. This was what ScotRail did for Kylie.
I never specified for train stations.
So I could have had anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh well, that kind of limited me. Because my response to that was, muted. Then I got another couple of crackers in here. We've got Come On Dundee. Come On Dundee.
Rock Dundee J.
Yeah. See, that works.
Yeah.
Old Before I Addy Well, because it's Addywell in West Lothian.
Addywell, yeah.
Yeah, maybe not quite so much, but yeah. So
Yeah.
fair play to the ScotRail social media team who come up with these, and we're available for any other such events that you've got coming up.
Yeah.
You give us some ScotRail station name puns, or just Scottish town name puns
Yeah.
in general. We're there.
I know. That was actually quite funny. And yeah, you got me through. I think I did it. Average pace was 6:06, which isn't bad considering I haven't done a full 5K in like 6 years.
I think I maybe got into the fives when I was doing 5Ks, a 5K, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So Addywell, I mentioned there, is a West Lothian town. That's where I was brought up in West Lothian.
Oh, okay.
So I was in Livingston, but see the local towns, there was a sort of history of having a thing called a gala day. And, right?
Dingle has a gala day still.
Yeah, exactly. So, Scottish towns generally, I think, have a history of gala days where there'd be some sort of like a
float and stuff
pageant.
like that.
They'd have floats, schools would be involved, they'd go through. That's where my wife is just now, right, with my daughter Jess. It's not, well, now we need to be careful here, okay? When I first met Laura, I got taken to a place called Bo'ness, which is on the border of Falkirk and West Lothian. Many years ago it was West Lothian, now it's Falkirk. I don't know, some sort of territorial thing. Or a divorce. I think it was, it probably was like the reorganisation of Scottish councils, and somebody had to argue who was getting custody of Bo'ness, and Falkirk took custody of Bo'ness.
Okay.
Bo'ness, I don't know if you know this, I think, I know we love a proud proclamation of fact on this podcast. The only Scottish place I know that's been abbreviated, because it's not Bo'ness, it's actually Borrowstown-ness. But that's too much for them, so it's B-O''N-S, Bo'ness.
I did wonder why there was an apostrophe in it, but that makes more sense.
Its full name is Borrowstown-ness.
I was like, you usually see it on like a big sign on the motorway, and you usually see it abbreviated, so like Livingston would be like Elston, or something like that. But yeah, I was like, I thought it was called Bo'ness, but obviously not.
Oh, it is referred to as Bo'ness everywhere, but that's its full name. So they have a thing called the Fair Day.
Okay.
I'd like to stress, not a gala day, the Fair Day.
Okay.
And it's a big deal down there. So my wife is down just now because my little niece, Grace, she's going to be a fairy in the Fair Day.
Very nice.
So they're away to see the dresses, because part of the lead up to it, oh my goodness, there's so much lead up to it.
Pageant stuff.
Yes. So there is a bit of showing off the dresses. You have to leave them some money. It's crazy.
What?
But I was wondering, up here, so like Dingle has a gala day.
Yeah, we were going to do it, and then it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
No one really knew it was happening. And I was like,
I suppose Highland Games are sort of similar in that it brings the town together. There's different
Somewhat.
events going on.
yeah.
When we were staying in Bathgate, we had well, they used to call it Newlands Day, but because of historical reasons, they've decided not to call it that anymore.
Yeah.
And it's now just called the Bathgate Gala Day or Bathgate Procession. But they had a scooter race the week before the main event, so they had
Amazing.
nights of events. And the thing that sticks with me is the scooter racing. So this was like on a kid's scooter.
Yeah.
I borrowed my daughter's scooter and took part in the grown-ups race,
How'd you do?
and I won £1.
You
I won one of the
Amazing.
races, and I
Buy
got,
yourself
and
a
you
packet
get,
of sweeties.
and
with
you
that.
get given £1 for winning a race. I came third in the final, but hey,
Do you know
listen.
what? That's still on the podium. So
exactly,
well done.
exactly.
What's the take that you got from? Is it a downhill thing? Is it just like?
It was.
Are you still like kicking and stuff?
It was in the Morrison's car park, so they literally got Morrison's in Bathgate to cordon off part of the car park. Youths buy a car and make lots of noise and go doing donuts and stuff in car parks.
And then they
around
decide
the
to put
Highlands.
speed bumps on it and make everyone miserable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So imagine that, but scooter format. So you've got.
That is hilarious.
But the parents' race, you can imagine. I think it's the same in like a school sports day or anything.
When you get the
if there's
parents'
ever a
race,
parents'
yeah.
race, the parents get a bit overexcited, don't they?
I don't think overexcited. I think like their competitiveness comes out. Like I remember when I was in school, we had like horrific injuries from like parents' days. Like we had to ban people from not like running. It was the Humphreys, I believe it was. Yeah, we had a family called the Humphreys. They're not that posh, but they're decent. But they always won the mum and dad
right,
race.
yeah.
But the mum kept injuring herself so much. Love you, Sharon. Yeah.
To ban mums and dads races.
Yeah.
We saw this, it was Henry's sports day at Kinmiley's Primary recently.
Okay.
And
Did you do the dad's race?
I didn't.
No.
Right? I kind of stayed back and thought, no, I won't, because like it's all the P7 mums and dads. Because obviously it's their
Okay.
last sports day. I'll do it.
Yeah.
See, when it's Henry is in P7, I'll do it there. And there's like a tug of war, adults versus kids.
That's hilarious.
The kids won. All the P7s. All the P7s against all the teachers and some assorted adults. And the kids beat the adults at a tug of war at
How
Kinmiley's.
does that work?
So I'd love to know if there's a gala day and we could come along and do the Saturday drop-in podcast.
Well, Dingwall's celebrating 800 years next year.
Indeed.
Dingwall 800.
Well, I'm just saying, we're a Highland-based podcast and we can bring our PA kit that we've got now.
Yeah.
So we can come along and do that. So I'm glad I motivated you for your 5K.
Yeah, I did all right. Do you want me to let you know when I'm doing another
Next time you're
5K?
doing it, so what you need to do is, obviously, once you've listened to this podcast,
Yeah.
because that's motivation in
Shall
itself.
I do something stupid like do the Puff and Pool 5K?
The Puffin Pool 5K?
The Puff and Pool 5K.
Tell me more.
Puff and Pool do a 5K, don't they?
So they do, yeah, nice fundraiser.
They do a
I
little
remember when
fun
they
run.
came and told us about that. Yes.
Yeah, I could just do that for a laugh.
Could we do it live? Could we give you a mic and I'll be the stationary person
You won't
who
be hearing a lot apart from many swear words and breathing. Yeah. It's like, I don't like this, I'm next.
We can do that. I'm here for. I will do. Anybody who's listening, if you need motivation on a 5K, right? Beforehand, email studio. No, we'll go proper. Socials at hhr.scot. Email that, and I'll send you some give me a topic. If it's pun based, even better, and we'll get you some motivational commentary
That
to
sounds
keep you
amazing.
going.
Yeah. I'll let you know next time I'm doing a run.
Cheers, bud.
Anything else happened in life apart from?
Well, I was off work for most of this week. I just took some time off.
Yeah, I did notice. I was like, whoa,
Yeah,
that's fair.
take some days back.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Exactly. I've decided I don't like being a tourist in a tourism area.
I did notice your post where you said, I hate how this area of which I am a tourist in is so filled with tourists.
Yeah.
Double-edged sword.
No,
Need to have
I
some
know,
tourism,
I know,
I'm afraid.
I know. But there's a type of tourism. There's a type of tourist that I just don't like, and it begins with A and ends in Americans.
We do have American listeners, Shannon.
I know. Maybe cut that bit out. But yeah, I was at the Guinness factory, which is incredible. I highly recommend going multiple times because it was really good. Like it's interactive. You learn about sort of the marketing behind it. So obviously, I just went.
You were interested in that, yes?
Because a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. That's a Guinness advert.
Is it? Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were just getting all. I don't know on me.
Yeah. No, that's one of their things. But because like at the very start, you kind of start from like the barley, and you learn about the type of barley that they use and all this stuff, and then they take you to sort of the production side and what heat it needs to be done to whatever, right? And I was looking at it was like an 18th century like grinder that they used to use, like a mechanical thing, and I was like really looking into because it has like Thailand and stuff like that. I've just had someone like walk up to me and was like. I was like, no.
And for you,
had
I
to
know
walk away.
that you don't like
I was
that.
so
You don't like that at all. Hey, you like your personal space, and that's cool.
Everyone likes the personal space.
Noises like that, like somebody breathing. I know that you get really triggered by it.
Yeah, but like, don't be so close. Like, there was loads of room, but it was specifically behind me, and I was like, oh, like it wasn't particularly busy where we went, so just take. I miss social distancing, right? I miss social distancing.
Bring back social distancing.
Please. But yeah, highly recommend going to the Guinness factory. It's really cool, and I spent so much money there, and I learned that I like Guinness.
Well,
Guinness
there you
doesn't
go.
like me though. It's too much iron in it.
Really? Is that a problem?
Well, I thought because 95% water, I was like, that's fine. Nope.
Well, our touristy thing was the V&A in Dundee.
Yes.
That's a very much worth a visit.
Radio 1 did an exhibition there for Big Weekend.
Did they?
They did
Of
a
course they
history
did that a
of
few years
Big,
ago, yeah.
Big Weekend, so they had all the memorabilia and stuff.
So in the V&A, and I don't know if I'd call it a museum because it's a gallery more so. It's it's design and culture.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting stuff. But they had a sort of dedicated area to Nine Wells Hospital.
Really?
And all the sort of cutting edge things that have happened there. For example, the first keyhole surgery.
I've had 3 of them, so.
Well, you've got Dundee to thank for it.
Thanks, Dundee.
I'll say you're welcome on behalf. But there was some really cool exhibits, and again, for us being a hospital radio station, it was cool to see the sort of building of the hospital, like what we've seen here with pictures from here.
Yeah.
But while I was away, you know me, I love radio.
Yes.
It's a passion, it's a hobby. I wish it was my career. But over there in the car, I always look through to see what the local radio stations are.
Okay.
Now that's harder these days to find a genuinely local radio station. All the big hitters were there, as you'd expect. You know, your Globe Hours.
And your Clydes and your.
Well, it was Tay, but of
Tay.
course, you know, just
Park Clyde.
see Clyde. You had your, hits. See hits down south. However, there was one that came up that said shared access.
Ooh.
I thought, a DAB station called Shared Access. Yes, please. So I click on it. There's 3 radio stations in that area who share the DAB frequency.
That's so cool.
And we need to find out more
Sorry,
about
guys.
this.
Let us just nerd out for like
We're
5
just having a
minutes. Yeah.
chat. So what they do... Well, you still kicking me.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that was you. I'm just trying to get comfy.
So you've got...
Playing footsies.
Please. Goodness. You've got Bridge FM. Now, Bridge FM are the Nine Wells Hospital radio station.
Yeah, legends.
They're on DAB.
See him at the HBA.
See the HBAs? Big up Dundee. They're on it. Heartland FM. So they're based in Perth.
Yes.
Excellent, great community radio. Loads of presenters, loads of shows, news.
Amazing.
See if you're travelling down the A9 and you're wanting to listen to something different radio-wise. You've got Space Sound as you go through Aviemore.
Yeah.
But once you get south of there, tune into Heartland across Perthshire. Outstanding radio.
See, the
And,
A9's a drive for me to catch up with Popmaster. Or
radio
the,
for-
10
greatest
to the top.
hits. Whatever. I'm shopping local. And then you've got North Angus Community Radio.
Whoa.
Epic.
Yeah.
And they share the they get like 3 hours each. They do a 3-hour slot, then it switches to the next station.
That's so nice.
So if you're ever about the Dundee, Perth, North Fife area, and you're wanting something a bit different from your radio, you've listened to all our podcasts twice. Great, thank you. We've got the numbers. That's great. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out something a bit different. Shared access on your DAB in around the Dundee general area, and enjoy some good local radio from really passionate community.
I am very
people.
shocked that we don't have anything up here.
I had
We
a
have
look.
Radio Caithness
Caithness
FM.
yeah. But nobody on DAB, unfortunately.
No.
Nobody on DAB.
Well, there's a small scale DAB license going out in Ullapool, so I sort of Radio Westeros if you're out there.
And what I would say is, of course, we're delighted if you want to listen to Highland Hospital Radio, but don't forget Space Sound, Nevis FM, Radio Sky. Oh my goodness, that
Legends.
is probably one of the best. I mean, they're not really even community. I'd say that's a proper commercial station up there on Sky, Portree.
Oh,
and
for sure.
Welsh.
That's like the guaranteed
Yes.
station.
Just listen into that.
We're
it's really
in
good.
Portree Hospital though.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't want to start a turf war.
Oh
here,
no,
Shannon.
I'm not saying we ever did.
Um,
We just appeared.
And of course, Caithness as well. Loads of great local radio. So do you know what? See if recently things have changed on your station that you usually listen to. Maybe have a wee shop around and see what else there is. And, tune in to us because we've got loads of great presenters. Some of them used to be on that station as well, by the way.
exactly. Yeah.
Now, coming into the studio today, I observed something. And it's weird that we've never discussed this before. I saw a van, and I took pictures of this van. It was parked in the car park here at Rigmore.
Dodgy.
Slightly dodgy, I accept, but for good reason. And I messaged you, and do you know what? There was a part where that was going, I think I know what the answer is going to be here. Shannon strikes me as a person who's going to like this.
Okay.
We've worked together for 5
years.
5 years.
5+ years.
And I think that there's certain wavelengths that we operate on. Okay?
We really do.
So I sent you a message earlier, and I said, are you a Red Dwarf fan at all?
Yes.
Response, love heart emoji.
Of
Freaking course.
Yeah. Love it.
So I sent you a picture of a red transit van that's parked at Rigmore. It might still be there just now, okay? And someone is also a Red Dwarf fan out there.
Yeah.
Red Dwarf fan.
Oh,
Red Dwarf fan.
good.
And they've got it styled like it is the Jupiter Mining Core ship Red Dwarf. They've got the paintwork, they've got the signage, They've got the JMC logo, which I really love.
It's so good.
They've got a Space Corps directive quote on the back. There is a number there. And the thing is, I'm not a big enough Red Dwarf fan. I think that there is probably a term for a Red Dwarf fan. A dwarfy or something, I don't know.
It's the words that we can't really use on radio.
Okay. But either way, I want to look up what Space Corps Directive 1742 is, because that's what they've referenced. And then if you look in the front, they've even got like a blue alert sign, which is funny because if you make it a red alert, you do have to change the bulb. So I apologise to the owner of this van, and we might put some pictures up. We'll blur out the number plates so you know we're not causing any issues. But yeah, if you are the owner of that van, let it be known you brought a smile to the Saturday podcast, Saturday Drop-In podcast.
Space Corps Directive 1742. No member of the Corps should ever report to active work in a ginger toupee.
So there's one for the Red Dwarf fans. Welcome to the Saturday Drop-In. You're more than welcome.
Should we leave them a wee little like flyer if they're there and just be like, we saw this and we love this. It. Please listen to our podcast because we mention you in this. Like.
Right, folks, we are going to head off for just now. It's been great having you along for today's journey. Next week, we are the Saturday Dropout because we're up at Woodstock. The podcast will still be out at some stage.
It's so exciting.
I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Do you need to put our kit at mine?
Sorry, we're doing this as we're having a conversation like this as part of the podcast.
Do you want to put the kit at mine because we're 10 minutes away?
We'll see. I'll have a discussion with the outside broadcast engineer.
Yes, of course. That's fine. Sorry, I'll leave you guys to it.
I'll finish off the podcast now.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, folks, we'll see you all again soon. Bye.
See you later.